Hey friends, Ash here with gentsscents. Hope you're doing really well. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about 5 blasts that last. Yeah, blasts that last. That's just kind of a way of saying 5 fragrances that have great longevity. Maybe you could even say beast mode, but really we're concentrating more on longevity here than we are in just straight up projection. These scents kind of run the gamut. Some of these are better for summer, some are better for winter, some are better for day, some are better for night. So there's a little bit of everything sprinkled throughout here. Let's jump into it and check these out. Let's kick things off with the tobacco fragrance. I love tobacco scents. You love tobacco scents. We all love tobacco scents. This one is called Tobacco Reserve, and it's from Aramis. And this fragrance right here should be in the running for cheapest looking worst bottle of all time. Now some people are gonna say, no, the Aramis bottles are classic. Sure, you could go with that, I guess. Or you could say that they look like a cheap decant bottle with a really thin plastic cap on the top and a really cheap sticker slapped on the front. You could also say that. I mean, just look at it. Just look at it. Yeah, that's not really nice. And I'll go ahead and waste a couple sprays for you guys here. I'm really glad that I actually had that pointing in the right direction. I didn't actually check to see which way that was facing before I did it. I just assumed that it was correct. Could have blasted that right into my eyes. So yeah, the bottle, not great, but the fragrance itself, really nice. It caught a bit of hype, I feel like maybe a year or two ago, and for good reason. There's tobacco in here, obviously. I mean, the name of the fragrance is Tobacco Reserve. It'd be weird if there wasn't. There's also tonka, there's clary sage, there's black currant, there's oak moss. And while there is some sweetness in here from the tonka and some warmth, it's not what I would consider really sweet pipe tobacco kind of fragrance. Because when you say that, a lot of times people will start thinking of pure Havana, for example, and this is nowhere near that sweet. And that clary sage gives it a slight herbal undertone. It makes the fragrance smell maybe a little more mature. So people in their 30s and up are going to appreciate this more, I would say, than people that are teenagers or in their early 20s. The fragrance itself though, really nice, and if you like tobacco fragrances, you want one that's gonna last a long time, check it out. Let's go from there to another hype beast, Mustache, Eau de Parfum. Now this one gets compared to Tuxedo from Yves Saint Laurent, and there was a little bit of a scare where people thought Tuxedo was discontinued. Turns out it's actually not. Still yet though, if you want something similar to that, but not as expensive, this is what you want. And for the price, this is one of the better buys you're ever gonna find. The quality is great. Like I said, the bottle looks fantastic. The scent itself smells awesome. Benzoin, vanilla, cedar, and pink pepper are some of the notes in the fragrance. It is killer in cool weather. Winter and fall, this is a beast. At discounters, that one goes out of stock pretty often, or at least it has been going out of stock. Here recently, I've noticed that it's been consistently in stock at discounters. So hopefully I didn't just jinx that, but lately it's been easier to find. And that's a good thing because like I said, the price is not very high at discounters and the bang for buck is great. Next up, let's do a summertime fragrance, Aqua Amara from Bulgari. This has water, neroli, olibanum, and mandarin orange as some of the notes in the fragrance. It is a great attention grabber for spring and summertime during the day, high heat situations. It's a fragrance that's a little bit divisive. Some people don't like the opening all that much. It's potentially off-putting. Me personally, I think it smells really nice. It is definitely far and away the most popular fragrance to come out of the Bulgari Aqua lineup. And we actually haven't really seen any Aqua fragrances in a while. There was this one, then Aqua Atlantique came out, which is a blue fragrance in case you're unaware of that one. That's a pretty solid pickup. But since then, nothing. Now we need Aqua Amara Absolute. Anyway, Aqua Amara, great fragrance if you're looking for something that has citrus and aquatic notes with a little bit of an earthy tinge to it. Longevity on that, much better than most summertime fragrances. Up next, we've got a Bentley fragrance, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's gonna be Bentley from Men Intense. You're wrong! You're wrong, it's not. It's Bentley from Men Black Edition. This one has violet, papyrus, tangerine, cedar, and tobacco as some of the notes in the fragrance. And it's actually got a pretty good amount of notes. I have complained recently about some fragrances that give you just one note in the top, one in the mid, one in the base. Not a fan, don't like that. Bentley from In Black Edition, thank you for giving me all the notes. So that note breakdown, just the ones that I gave you, kind of all over the place. Tobacco, papyrus, violet, tangerine. Yeah, it's like, what is this fragrance? Is this, you know, a warm weather scent, cool weather scent? Well, it's kind of all of the above. You can use it in spring and summer. You could also use it in fall and winter if you want. It's really versatile. It's almost like a blue type fragrance with a twist. By that, I mean it has the versatility, it's got the usability of a blue fragrance, but it's not done in the more typical blue fragrance style. You know, you don't have an extreme overload of ambroxan. You don't have a whole bunch of ginger and citrus right up top. They do things a little bit differently here, but the end result is still the same. They're trying to give you a fragrance that you can wear anywhere, anytime. Thankfully, with this being a Bentley for Men fragrance, it's not very expensive. I actually found this in a Burlington store, and I did a video on it. I don't recall the exact price that I paid for it, but it wasn't a whole lot. And you can find this online at discounters pretty consistently for a good price as well. This does have a nice sort of classiness to it. It's not something that I would consider, you know, a more formal leaning fragrance, but there is enough of a refinement to the scent that if you wanted to, you could really easily pull it off at a business meeting or at the office or something like that. All right, last up is a fragrance from Kenzo, which is a house that I really like. I know that, you know, a lot of people seem to not care about Kenzo, but I personally really dig them. This one is Kenzo Homme Night. Now this fragrance is discontinued. It's been pretty hard to find, but I have noticed recently that it popped back up at discounters. So you can once again find the fragrance, so I figured might as well go ahead and put it in. Normally, if a fragrance is discontinued and the only way you can find it is through eBay at really jacked up prices, I won't put it into a video. But this one, where you can find it right now for a pretty good price, figured I'd go ahead and talk about it. I actually bought this when it first came out. I bought a tester of it, and this is my backup bottle. So I bought this one from discounters after it popped back up again. It's got mango, tonka, vetiver, and cardamom as some of the notes in the fragrance. And some people actually compare the way this smells to Jean Paul Gaultier Le Beau, the newer one, and also Fusion DC by Issey Miyake. I understand where some people are pulling those comparisons between the fragrances. It's the mango in here, I believe, that's really drawing that comparison along with the tonka. And that's because the mango in here gives the fragrance sort of an exotic fruitiness that you don't smell very often in men's fragrances. And Le Beau and Fusion DC both have this sort of out of the ordinary fruity sweetness in them. Instead of a more typical apple or citrus like grapefruit or mandarin orange or something like that, that different take on a fruity opening is where the comparison gets drawn. And like I said, also the tonka. Yeah, that doesn't hurt. This one is a sweet fragrance, definitely an attention grabber. Some people might say derivative or a little bit generic, but personally, I think it's really nice for what it does, which is basically just be a fragrance you would wear at night if you're looking for something that's gonna last and be sweet and get you attention. That's pretty much what it's made for. I also gotta say, I dig the bottle. This dark purple coloration with that Kenzo Homme design, pretty slick. As I mentioned, it's discontinued. If you've been looking for it, you know, check out the discounters. It should be in stock, and scoop one up. Don't pay $100, $150, something like that. And if for some reason you want that and it is sold out, I would wait. Like I said, don't pay jacked up prices. It's not worth it at $100 or $150. All right, there we go. 5 blasts that last. Long-lasting fragrances. Let me know in the comments which of these bottles is the best. Which one? I think the underdog is this guy. Oh wait, I had it backwards. This guy. And what would the favorite be? Probably this one, if I had to guess. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for me. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all your support. You stay safe out there, and I will see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.